Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Hellblade, Senua Sacrifice, Blind. Now I've repaired this bridge, and apparently I'm ready now to face Hela herself, the goddess of the underworld, and force her, one way or another, to give up Dillion's soul.
What happens to us?
What happens to us?
We die too.
Do we die too?
We
I
die
don't want
too.
to die. I don't want to die.
We'll all die someday.
I don't want to die.
And when everyone's gone, even the gods will die.
I don't want to die.
We don't want to die.
I don't want to die.
Senua,
Stop.
Turn back.
Stop. Stop her.
It's interesting how the voices in her head are telling her to stop because they don't want to die. It's almost like, they perceive themselves to be...
I didn't ask you to be a part of me. If you don't want to die with me, then leave me alone.
That's a good stance to take, She didn't exactly choose this condition.
I don't want to die. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop.
You'll never come back if you go there.
There is nothing to go back to.
We only have each other now. Don't abandon me.
Everyone suffers. They were right about me.
Listen to me, not them.
They were afraid. Like children scared of the dark.
So was I.
They made up monsters to fill the void. That doesn't make them real.
They made them real.
No!
Follow your soul and let go of the Senua of old. For there lies your weakness, and the darkness will find it.
I'm not sure how should I understand what just happened.
It's not like the old stories, is it? The noble warrior facing evil in search of victory and honor. Clear dividing lines. No. Oh, this place is not quite like that. It's as if it knows that true torment lies within. Memories you cannot defeat, cannot escape. This is her hell.
Well, let's go forward the only way I can go.
Wait.
Mother!
Don't see me like this. Turn away, Senua. Turn away, Senua!
Do you see it, Senua? Do you see the darkness? Faces of fear and suffering.
You can see it.
I remember it clearly now.
She has nothing to fear anymore. The gods have saved your mother. Through my hand.
You killed her.
It is the will of the gods.
Fuck the gods! You did this to her! Why?
This is what happens when you listen to the voices of the underworld. They crawl into your soul and rot you from the inside. Defy the gods like your mother, and the darkness will come for you too. You understand, Senua?
I do understand. You cursed me with your own madness. I was just a child. You created this darkness! You created this darkness so you could hide behind it!
Only suffering brings salvation. It is the way of the gods.
It was all a lie. You are a lie! She didn't defy the gods. She defied you. And so you killed her.
You didn't pray to the gods. You prayed to your mother. Your mother, who was too weak to fight the darkness and abandoned you.
You tortured her. You killed her. You are the darkness.
Okay, I must say I'm thoroughly confused, but that might not be the best time to comment on that, because it seems like I'm almost in a fight, or soon to be in one, so I will wait for the scene to calm down a little.
Those rituals, the years of isolation, the pain that still haunts you. It was the only way to fight the curse within you.
You're a liar.
The darkness is inside you that will destroy you.
You're a liar!
No, Senua. The darkness is here. You cannot wish it away. And it will watch as you draw your last dying gasp.
I won't let you kill me. Ah! Behind you.
through your darkness. You're a liar and a murderer. And if you really are Hela, then I have a sword here that can kill a god.
Okay, so I assume you have to recreate a bridge from the debris or something? Again, there's much I would like to talk about, but it might not be the best moment because I'm not sure if something is going to attack me soon. I will wait for a calmer scene or for the end credits because whichever one comes first. Also, the music in that segment was pretty interesting. I guess I don't...
Look at you. Run forward, moving backwards to wallow in your miserable past. You're making a mistake searching for Dillion. The same mistake that killed him in the first place. I'm trying to save you from yourself.
You still believe it is a lie? The plague of darkness, the butchering of Dillion by the Norsemen. You saw it yourself.
You told everyone I was cursed. They believed you. I believed you.
Tell me, Senua, where is Dillion so if the darkness is a lie? How you saved him?
I know he's here. Dillion, I know you're here. Hold on. I'll find you. Trying to trick me again with your lies. I know he's here. You took him from me. You have him.
Dillion is gone. Dillion is dead.
What can you do to me that you haven't already?
You betrayed your own
Fight
father.
me!
You betrayed
Come on!
the gods in search of Dillion, in search of love. Look where that's got you. Let go of your battle. Let go of redemption. Let go of Dillion. Don't let your darkness hurt anyone else.
Be careful, Senua. Watch out. Watch out. Let go of your battle. Let go of Dillion. You're going to die. Behind you. Let go of Dillion. Let go of your battle. Stop. You're killing yourself. You're killing yourself. Watch out. Careful. Watch out. Let go of your battle. You don't have to fight anymore.
Maybe that was intended? Because this cutscene is a little bit different than the one that usually happens when they die.
You're alive. And there's no doubts. But you never took him from me, did you? And I can't save Dorian. Is that what you want me to believe? After all you've done to me? And to him? You're not a lie, but you're a liar! You crawled into me to confuse me and deceive me. But I know he's here. I know you have him. I'll give you my life. That's what you want, isn't it? My soul. Take it. I'll be a slave for you. I'll fight with you at Ragnarok. If you release it. I've got nothing left. No fear. No hate. No quest. Nothing. No power over me.
I learned the hard way to not be afraid of death, Senua. Because a life without loss is one without love. You turn your back on death, and all you can see is the shadow that it casts. The longer you hide from it, the longer the shadow grows until all you can see is darkness. When our time comes, we must look death in the eye and embrace it as a friend. Only then can we let go of our fear. And emerge from our darkness.
Never forget what it is like to see the world as a child, Senua. Every autumn leaf is like a work of art. Every rolling cloud a moving picture. Every day a new story. We too emerge from this magic, like a wave from the ocean, only to return to the sea. Do not mourn the waves, the leaves, and the clouds. Even in darkness, the wonder and the beauty of this world never leaves us. It is always there, waiting to be seen again.
This is where my story once began. And so it has to end here. Because I cannot see further than this.
Follow us. We have another story to tell.
My friend. Go with her. This now will be your story to witness.
It's hard to tell how mixed up you feel, hoping what you need is behind every door. Each time you get hurt, I don't want you to...
Okay, so this was Hellblade Senua Sacrifice, and I must say I'm really confused because, well, a couple of things. First of all, it seems that the voice that kept talking, that I thought was the voice of the god of the seed, who personified like Senua's mental problems was in fact the voice of her father, which I guess makes sense in a way, on which I will elaborate just in a second. So the way I see it is that Senua's mother had mental issues as well, but her father, I mean not Senua's mother's father, but Senua's mother's husband, that being Senua's father, thought that it's like a curse from the gods or whatever, and that it's a sign that she's bad in some way, that there's something wrong with her, and that he should be ashamed of that and scared of that. So I guess, and I think it was revealed that in fact it was him that killed her, that being Senua's mother. Her father killed her mother and then told Senua that it was the darkness that killed her mother, so that because he knew that she herself also has this kind of problem that he saw as a curse, so he wanted to scare her into compliance. So he was talking to her about how horrible the darkness is, and that it took her mother, and that she needs to stay hidden and locked away, because otherwise this curse is going to consume everyone. But then at some point Senua saw Dillion training under a tree with a sword, and she was watching him for a longer amount of time, and she fell in love with him. So then she confronted her father and told him that she's leaving, and that she wants to go and live with Dillion. And sometime after that, I guess, the Northmen... although wait, there was also this episode in which she self-exiled herself to try to battle the darkness, so I guess that was sometime in between, because first she met Dillion and tried to live with him, but then she came into this conclusion that she can't really do it, so she tried to withdraw and deal with the darkness. And then there was a scene when she tried to commit suicide after the plague, which, by the way, her father told her that it's her fault, that it's the curse that killed everyone. So she tried to commit suicide, but Dillion stopped her, and sometime after that, I guess, there was a raid by the Northmen, and they killed Dillion. And then, I'm not sure how, because it seemed pretty clear to me in the end that probably most of what happened in the game, or maybe even all of it, was actually an extended metaphor about dealing mainly with grief, because in the end, she was clutching his disembodied head because she believed it's the key to saving his soul, but in the end she let it go, literally. She let it fall into the sea or something, and she said something along the lines of goodbye or whatever. So it was like she was coming to terms with the fact that he's dead, and there is nothing she can do to bring him back, because she was deluding herself into thinking that it's possible to battle the gods of the underworld and force them to bring him back to life. But I guess in the end she realized that it's not possible, and that she has to, come to terms with the fact that he will never return, and that she must live her life without him from now on, because the alternative would be to just give up and die herself. But that's the extent to which I have some kind of coherent theory on what happened, but I'm not sure if I got it all, or if I got it correctly, and if I did, I still don't know from where did the whole... I'm not sure, even if it was a metaphor, I'm not sure why did she want to rescue Dillion, who was a Celt, as she was, from the Orkney Islands. why did she want to rescue him from the Norse underworld of Helheim? Like, that doesn't make much sense to me. And also, there was this, there were some suggestions about possibly it being her that killed him, but that didn't came to anything in the end, so I don't think that's true. I think that was just her voices in her head blaming her. Yeah, so overall I'm pretty confused, and I feel like I might have missed a couple of important clues, although maybe it's just this kind of story that it's very open-ended and you can interpret it in different ways, but even then I'm not really happy with my overall conclusion, because it seems to not really be full. There are many elements of the game that I'm not really sure how they all tie together. Yeah, but I guess that was it. Oh, another thing I wanted to bring up, because it might be relevant. There's actually a slight possibility that the ending didn't provide me with that many answers, because I actually got the bad ending, because I lost that final fight and they killed me. But I guess in the end, the ending wasn't really that bad. Like, it was kind of optimistic in a way, like it was optimistic in a way that Senua realized that Dillion is dead and that she can't bring him back, but she sort of agreed with that. Like she came to terms with that, and she was borderline okay with that at this point. She didn't blame herself, or she didn't give up and kill herself. She was just like, goodbye, my beloved. I understand that you are dead now, and I need to carry on without you. So that wasn't really a negative ending, but I still wonder if there was an alternative, and if it's because I failed at the end and got killed. But I guess that's the ending I got. I'm not going to retry the game just to see if there's a different one. Maybe I'll try to look it up on YouTube or anything, but that's the ending I got, and I have to deal with it, much as Senua herself has to deal with the fact that her lover is dead. So that was Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Now, I liked it. There were elements that I really liked. Mostly, I really liked the puzzle design with the runes. It was really creative and interesting. And it was a very simple concept, but it was pretty unique, so far as I know. And it was cool and interesting to look for those shapes. I really liked some of the story elements, because there were some pretty strong moments, especially this one moment in which the voices in Senua's head were cursing her and telling her that she's worthless and stupid and a disgrace, and that she should kill herself. And in reality, it was herself telling that. She was looking in a mirror and her mouth was moving and she was speaking those words, but they were of a different voice. It was very a very interesting and I guess true to life depiction of some kind of mental problems with self-esteem and general mood. So I definitely like that, and I'm probably going to remember that. And I guess that there is definitely depth in this story, but I feel maybe it's a little too deep for me, because or maybe it's not explained well enough. I'm not sure, because even though I formed a couple of pretty solid hypotheses about what it was all about, I still feel like there are major chunks of the story that I don't quite get, and I'm not sure if that's my fault because I'm a dumbass. I definitely kind of am, so that wouldn't surprise me, or if the game was deliberately constructed in such a way to, allow for a very broad interpretation and to not give you too many solid, proofs of anything. So, yeah, I liked it, but I I wouldn't say I consider it some kind of masterpiece. It was definitely interesting. I'm glad that I played it. I'm not really sure, because I wanted to say I expected something different, but I'm not sure what did I expect. So I can't say I'm disappointed in it. It is what it is. It was interesting and cool, and I'm glad that I played it. And there's apparently a sequel in the works, so I'm probably going to check it out, just because there were elements that I really liked in this game, so it'll be interesting to see how they expand on it. What else? I really liked the graphical style. It was pretty beautiful at times, and especially Senua's like facial animation were pretty great. The way her eyes darted around when she was panicked and looking for like the source of those voices she was hearing. She was very expressive in the way her face looked. I also liked the audio design of the voices, because it really made you feel they were very 3D. They were like directional. You could tell that they were supposed to be coming from different places, like behind you or to the left or something, and it created this idea that those are actual voices coming from within the game's world and not really from within your mind, which I guess was totally the point. Yeah, so it was cool. I'm afraid I might have not got it all, but I still had fun, and I think it was interesting, and there were a couple of touching moments. So I guess I will play the sequel when it's out, and for now, that's all for this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!